Hi, third graders. Today we are going to work on math lesson 13 of our unit 7. So we have been working on perimeter, and if you remember, perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. So we did, I think last time we found the perimeter of the outside of the sticky note. So if I grab a ruler today, you actually don't need a ruler today. They gave us all our measurements, but just to review, with our sticky note, last week we measured the size of the sticky note and we found that each side was about 3 centimeters, and it's a square. So we know that with squares, all sides are equal, right? So if I know that this side is 3, what's this side over here? 3 as well. If this bottom side is 3, then the top side is also 3. With squares, all sides are equal and opposite sides are equal as well. Same thing with rectangles. So if I want to find the perimeter or the distance around the outside of this square, all I need to do is add up all these sides. So I'm going to do a capital P, which stands for perimeter. So perimeter equals 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And what does that equal? So we could count by threes 4 times. 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 4 sides and they each equal 3, so I could do 4 times 3, which also equals 12. And I measured in inches, so perimeter would equal 12 inches, just like that. Ring a bell? Good. So today we're going to practice working on perimeter. And for the shapes that we have right here, we don't need to measure because they gave us all of our side lengths already. So basically we're just adding today. Easy peasy. Okay, so put your name and date on your paper. Show me that you're ready to go. And then number 1 says find the perimeter of the following shape. So we'll work together on just a few, and then I am totally fine if you want to pause your video and finish up. Just be sure to come back and check your work with mine afterwards, okay? Okay, so find the perimeter of the following shape. So A, what shape is this that we have here? A rectangle. So we know that opposite sides are equal, right? So they did this one for us, or they started it. So P, which stands for perimeter, equals 3 inches plus 8 inches plus 3 inches plus 8. 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. So we can add that up together. So you can really add it any way you want to. If I add 3 plus 8, what does that equal? 11. And I can do the same thing right there. 3 plus 8, which equals 11. What's 11 plus 11? You can do mental math, that's great. Or if you want to write it down on the side as well, you can certainly do that. When I add 11 and 11, I get 22. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 22 inches. And they gave us our label, but we want to make sure, if not, that we always include a label. Okay? Look at the next one. So for B, what shape do I have here? I have a square, right? Because how do I know it's a square? All sides are equal. So all of my sides equal 4 centimeters. So it says P equals blank plus blank plus blank plus blank. What are you going to put in all of those blanks? 4s, right? Because my side lengths are 4. So P equals 4 centimeters plus 4 centimeters plus 4 centimeters plus 4 centimeters. So there's different ways that we could find our total perimeter here. So I could skip count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16. I could say that 4 plus 4 is 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16, right? There's definitely different ways, so whatever works best for you. So my perimeter for this square is 16 centimeters. Let's do one more together, and then you can kind of branch off if you'd like to and finish this up on your own, okay? All right, so for C, what shape is this one? This is a triangle, right? So we want to find the perimeter or the distance around the outside of the triangle. Take your pencil and just kind of lightly trace around the outside. So we just want to remember that perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape, and area is when we find the how much space, how many square units take up the inside of a shape, okay? So for this one, for C, this triangle, P equals blank plus blank plus blank. What are we going to put in there? These 3 side lengths. Does it matter the order that we put these numbers in? So I'm going to go 11 centimeters plus 9 centimeters plus 6 centimeters. And again, it doesn't matter the order that you put those numbers in there, and it doesn't matter the order that you add the numbers. I'm thinking though for this one, I want to add 11 plus 9 together. What is 11 plus 9? 20, right? If you can make a 10, then that's kind of an easier way to go. So I know that 11 plus 9 equals 20. So then I can just do 20 plus 6, and I know that that answer is 26. So anywhere where you can make a 10, that kind of makes your job easier, right? It makes it easier to do that addition. So if I look real quickly, I know I told you I was going to set you off, but look at this one right here. I'm automatically looking at the 15 and the 5. So when I find the perimeter of this shape right here, I'm going to add 15 plus 5 first, because that's going to give me a 10. That's the answer for 15 plus 5 is 20. So it's a multiple of 10. So that's going to make it easier when I add those two numbers there together. Okay. What is this shape in D, by the way? Has 4 sides, so it is a quadrilateral, but specifically what kind of quadrilateral is it? It's a trapezoid. Good. All right, if you want to pause it, you can do it, or you can just kind of leave the video running and work right alongside with me. Either way works. Just make sure that you are working independently somewhat, okay? So that you're practicing your skills. All right, go ahead. All right, so if you're back with me checking, to do this one, I already automatically said that I wanted to add 15 and 5, so I'm going to put those two numbers together first. And then I'm going to do my 7 and my 9. And again, it doesn't matter the order, just as long as you kind of make it whatever is going to work easiest for you. So I know that 15 plus 5 is 20. What's 7 plus 9? 16, right? So then I'm going to add 20 plus 16. If you can do mental math, that's great. Think about how many ones you're going to have and how many tens you're going to have. Or you could write it down. So if you need to write it down, we've got 20 plus 16. Or if I wanted to do it mentally, I know that there is 2 and 1 in the 10, so that would be 3, and then 0 and 6, so that would be 6. So my answer is 0 plus 6 is 6, 2 plus 1 is 3, so the answer would be 36 meters. Okay? Is that what you got too? Good. All right, look at E. So for E, I have side lengths of 9, 9, 2, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in. So 9 and 9, 2 and 2, and 3. How many sides do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. 5 sides. So what shape is this? What do we call a shape that has 5 sides? This is a pentagon, right? A pentagon is a shape that has 5 sides. All right, if I want to add these together, again, there's totally different ways that you could do it. Since I've got my 9s together, I'm going to do 9 plus 9 is 18. And then I'm going to say that 18 plus 2 equals 20. And then I'm going to do 2 plus 3, which equals 5. 20 plus 5 equals 25. Is that the only way that you could have done that addition? Definitely not. I could have done 9 plus 2 is 11. And then I could have done 9 plus 2 is 11. And then I could have added those two together. 11 plus 11 is 22, 23, 24, 25, and got it that way. That's just another way. There's a lot of different ways that you could add it. Try to find ways, though, that are going to make the addition easier for you to do, okay? If we can find easier ways to kind of do that mental math, that makes our job a lot easier. Thumbs up if you're okay with that one. How'd you do? Good. Go ahead and flip it over. On the back, Alan's rectangular swimming pool is 10 meters long and 16 meters wide. What is the perimeter? So we have a word problem. So a rectangular swimming pool, so I know it's a rectangle. So that tells me that if it's a rectangle, opposite sides are equal, which I can also see because they labeled. They put the 10 meters because it's 10 meters long and 16 meters wide, and I want to know what is the perimeter. So what do I do here? I'm going to add up my side lengths. So I'm going to put a P for perimeter equals 10 plus 10 plus 16 plus 16. And again, it doesn't matter if you already did this and you're checking your work and you did 10 plus 16 plus 10 plus 16, that's totally fine too, right? So if I look at this and I'm going to say, I know that 10 plus 10 is 20, 16 plus 16. You can do that mentally. That is good practice. Or maybe even do it mentally and then maybe you want to write it to check it. But if you're going to write it to check, I can do 16 plus 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. 2 carry the 1. And then 1, 2, 3. So that equals 32. So then if I add 20 plus 32, I know that I have in my ones place, I have a 2. And then in my tens, I have a 2 and a 3. So 20 plus 30 is 50. And then add that 2 in there. So the answer would be 52. So it would be 52 meters. That M stands for meters. And remember, it's a swimming pool. So meters, if we think of a meter stick, is like a big, long stick. So that makes sense that with a swimming pool, we would be measuring in meters because the swimming pool would be pretty long, right? Good, so 52 meters. And again, you could totally, if you wanted to do 20 plus 32 and do that math that way as well. But it's good practice for us to be trying to do some mental math, and then we could definitely write it afterwards to check our work, okay? Good. Thumbs up if you had that one correct. Good, and if not, that's totally okay. Just make sure that we're making corrections as we go and we're understanding where our mistake was. Okay, number 3 says, Lila measures each side of the shape below. Kind of look like mountains, don't you think? So I see this shape and it has the long side on the bottom, which is 9, 6, 3, 2, 4. What is the perimeter of this shape? So I'm going to do P equals, okay? And then I'm going to do, I'm trying to see if there's like any certain way that I want to organize it, the side lengths. And I think I'm going to do P equals 6. And I'm going to put these lines on the side there just so I can kind of keep track. So 6 plus 4. Why would I put the 6 and the 4 together? Because what does the 6 and 4 equal? It equals a 10. Okay, so 6 plus 4 plus 9 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so I know that the 2, well, I'm going to add these up all together. And again, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of playing with the numbers. There's no right or wrong way to do this addition. I'm just kind of playing around to see what might be easier. So 9, and these equal 5. So 9 plus 5 is 14, right? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then I should be able to do mental math with 10 plus 14. What is 10 plus 14? 24, right? So I'm going to stick this over here. P equals 24. And if you want to write those down, if you're not confident with your mental math, you could definitely just write it out to check, okay? So P equals 24, and I want to make sure that I include my label, which is inches. Okay? How'd you do with that one? Good? All right, so we're almost done. B says, Lila says that the shape is a pentagon. Is she correct? Explain why or why not. So how many sides does a pentagon have? A pentagon has 5 sides. So let's put a 5 right under or on top of pentagon. So she says it's a pentagon. Is she correct? Explain why or why not. So let's underline, is she correct? That's the question. Circle explain, because that means that we're going to need some words and we're going to explain why or why not. So a pentagon we know has 5 sides. So if I look, I already did this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she says it's a pentagon. Is she correct? Yes, comma, because it has 5 sides, period. Make sure your sentence begins with a capital letter and a period. When we think of a pentagon, a lot of times we think of like a regular pentagon, which looks like a house. That's kind of the most classic look for a pentagon. When a lot of people think of pentagons, they think that it looks this way, but really because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would be like considered a regular pentagon because all sides would most likely be equal. But a pentagon would be any shape, any polygon, a flat, two-dimensional shape that has 5 sides. And this does have 5 sides, right? And it's a flat two-dimensional shape. It's a polygon. So yeah, it is definitely a pentagon. Okay, that's it for today, guys. So that, I feel like we went pretty fast today, but really with perimeter, it's pretty straightforward. All we're doing is we're taking those side lengths and we add them up. So I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. Make sure that if you were working on your own, that you went back through and you checked all your answers. And if any of your answers were different, check them out, okay? Super work today, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more math.